How do you assign different types of drums to the mixer in Reason Studios? Now, to you know solve this problem, we'll go straight ahead to the point. For example, you have your drums lined up in Redrum, which naturally comes with your Reason Studio. Of course, I'm going to take this tutorial way back from for those of you who still have Reason 4, 5, 6, 7, thereabout. Now, you might not have the individual mixer channels. For example, you have this kind of channel, the mixer here. So for the sake of this tutorial, I've just dropped a mixer here that is empty, no instrument on it whatsoever. And then I also have another Redrum here, whereby you have drums here already. Like you can just load up whatever it is, what kind of drums, all kinds of drums. And then, for example, we have this disco, okay, disco kit thereabout loaded onto it. Now, if you want to hear this drum, for example, naturally, you want to hear the kick, let's just click on one of these things here, say run. All right. So that way you can say, oh, yes, that's what we have on the kick. All right. You say run. That's what you have on the kick. But now let's take this out. Let's check here. We say, let's see what we have here. Oh, that's a snare. Looking at what we want to achieve, we want to avoid where the instrument, that's the drums here, all play out through the stereo, which is one channel on the mixer. We want to have this very channel 1, like the drum, on its own individual channel here. Like here we have the snare, here we have so we want to assign them individually on their channels on the mixer. If you're using Reason less than that of 12 and maybe 4 or 5 thereabout, Reason 5 precisely, in Reason 12, for example, we can assign them differently. But let's just show you this quickly, then we move straight to Reason 12, right? Now, bear in mind that the way you assign this in this to this mixer is the way you can assign your Kong and the likes, like Additive drums and the rest. Now, quickly, so you have to toggle, all right? You have the shortcut on your keyboard, like if it's a Windows system, you have your tab button, you just click and then it turns this way. Now, come here, you remember that when you come here, this is your drum, your read drum, and here's the mixer that we have, all right? Now, what we want to do is to avoid it going out through this stereo here. So you take out this. Now you disconnect your read drum totally. So if we go back to play, now we can't even hear anything. We want to hear them through these channels where we assign them here. For example, let's take 1 and put here, 2 here, 1, which would be your kick. Now you just run it through and then you drop here. Then 2, which should be your snare, is this way. You drop here. Let's just do 1, 2, 3, and that'll be fine because it's same procedure for every other instrument. So we drop here. Now, having done this, just go back, like you toggle back. Now you can see we have their names already. Now, by the time we get to play, for example, and check the drum, you see, this is a snare. We put a snare on 2, don't forget. Now, let's go to 1. We have the kick drum there. You can hear it, and you can see that it has been assigned to its own individual channel. Now, the advantage of this, of course, when you want to mix, you can, fine-tune your kick, fine-tune your snare, all at their own pace, and then, of course, you're fine. You can use this mixer here in case you have Reason 5, 4, and the likes. But if you are using Reason 12, for example, the case will be quite different. You want to probably you want it to come out through the mixer here. This mixer here, you want to have all of those instruments coming out through this mixer up here. All right. So we want this way. We just want to, have the instrument play here on their individual channels. So what do we do then? So you come straight to your Redrum. Come straight to your Redrum. Where's our Redrum? We have our Redrum here. This time around, let's toggle back so we can, toggle to the rear side. When we come to the rear side, we have to disconnect our Redrum this time around from what we just did. That's the mixer. And now we want to see how to assign them up here. So what do? You add a mixer channel. You can either click here if it's Reason 12 you're using. You can just click here and say right click, and you say create mix channel. All right, so we have one. Say we just do 3, and that'll be fine. Create mix channel, and then create another mix channel. Now in this case, we're going to have the drum, the kick drum. We're going to have the snare here, and we're going to have, of course, your hi-hats on the third one. Now it's straight ahead. Okay, what we have to do, come to channel 1, route it straight at the back here to your input on the mix channel. So that way we have our first channel set up for the bass drum, and then we have our snare secondly set up, and then we have our hi-hat, which is the third one. Okay, we set it up here, input channel. Bear in mind that this same process is what you do for every other channel, like other instrument that you have here. If you want to, just it's a matter of you creating more mix channels, and then you start to assign all of your instruments individually. Now let's toggle to the front and see what we have. Do we have our instrument on their individual channel? So let's come here, for example, the kick, and then we put some here. Oh wow, we have our kick here. You can see it on its own individual channel. Now let's try our snare, which is this number 2, and let's see, do we have it? We have it here. Right here we have our snare, and I want to try out the third one, which is okay, let's see what we have. It should come here. Oh, beautiful. That's like okay, we know the instrument, of course, like a rim shot. So we have that. Now that's basically how to assign your Redrum to different mixers in Reason. If you use Reason 5, 4, 6, thereabout 7, I guess, you can always assign them to this, like with the method I used first from the beginning of this video. Then if you have Reason 12, of course, you have the ability and the capacity of assigning them to your mixer up here. All right, and now the advantage is, now that you have your instrument on this individual track, you can always come here and fine tune, like you want to mix. There are a lot to achieve here, so that's why you just have to assign your instrument to their individual mixer channels, so you can do a lot. You can pan differently. Some of them you can achieve even right there from Redrum, but in terms of mixing, you want to have the very best and have the opportunity of being in control of your mix, so you can assign them to your mixer. Now that's just for the Redrum. Another type of drums, all right, of course, in Reason